What's up, everyone? I'm Jay, and today we'll be looking at Pokemon Season 1 and judging it on a 5-star, 10-star, and 5,000 point scale. Let's get right into it. Season 1 of Pokemon, or the Indigo League, is an adventure fantasy comedy show. I'm also willing to bet that it's probably the first anime you've ever watched or heard of. I think I'd make more money than I'd lose on that one. This season originally aired from 1997 to 1999 in Japanese, and from 1998 to 1999 in English. There are 82 episodes in total, and they follow 10-year-old Ash Ketchum as he travels the Kanto region, collecting badges that will grant him access to the Indigo League. Joining him is Misty, the person he owes a bike to, and Brock, who just goes with them, and of course all of his Pokemon, most notably Pikachu. And now for a pause as I tell you that this is a really long show made for 6-year-olds, designed to be watched one episode at a time 3 times a week. So naturally, I will be reviewing it as not a 6 to 10-year-old child in the same league with all of Hollywood's greatest blockbusters. So Pokemon fans, don't go crazy when it comes up a little short. I'm one of you. Thus, at the end of this review, I will be spending some time pointing out all of the above par moments and surprising trivia that I did not expect to find in this show. Now on with the review. So naturally, I had never watched this show before, but I was excited. I know that there are plenty of beloved moments in this show, and I wanted to see how good it really was. Suffice it to say that I was not sitting on the edge of my seat the entire time. The show moves pretty slowly, and it's kind of old, so the animations aren't super high quality. However, there are some hidden gems in there that made it not a complete waste of my time. And now I can officially say that I watched the original season of Pokemon. I give 300 points for watch value. I barely made it through my first watch. There is almost no way that I'm going to rewatch this. I constantly found my eyes wandering, and for the most part, I was playing games during the slow parts of the show. I give 100 points for rewatch value. So the writing on this show is not that bad actually. A lot of the comedy comes from the character dialogue. From my observations, the dialogue is top quality when the characters are walking around and quipping with each other. However, it immediately tanks when plot needs to happen. And there's a lot of out-of-character waiting that happens when someone is taking their moment to say a line or two. For example, Team Rocket just stands there while inspiring speeches happen. Just start running! You could get away scot-free! But the fact that the writers chose to acknowledge the show's own laziness by, for example, having all the Jennies and Joys be related is great. I give 600 points for writing and plot. There are some pretty good voices on this show. There are some pretty average voices on this show. In my opinion, there's only one bad voice on this show. And it's the main character. That's right, I find Ash's voice to be way too nasally and just flat. And it wouldn't be a problem if he wasn't the main character, who's in every episode. It's not even bad voice acting, I just don't like the sound. I give 500 points for acting and voice. One of the main draws of Pokemon is the Pokemon battling each other. And especially in a fighting show, this section is pretty important. Nobody wants to see clunky fighting, especially between exotic and intriguing Pokemon creatures. If you want to see some great Pokemon battles, go watch a later season. As for this season, the best way that I can describe it is as an advanced slideshow with cool particle effects. There's so many moments where the animation is just a still image sliding across the screen, or the same animation over and over again. The artwork is definitely good artwork, but the animation made me think more about the actual animation than the show. I give 300 points for effects and set. Now for the final scores. We've got 1.8 out of 5, 3.6 out of 10, and 1,800 points. Now presenting the interesting part of this review. There's some parts of the show that you wouldn't find in any summary, but it's just not worth watching all the bland parts to find. So I have cataloged all the parts that stood out to me here. Please enjoy this highlight reel. First off, we'll start with the literal first seconds of the opening. Do you know who the first Pokemon to be shown in the show is? That's right, Mewtwo. My favorite is immediately given the spotlight he deserves. Alright, moving on. Ash never actually beat Brock, Misty, Sabrina, or Erica in the Pokemon battle for their badges. Somehow the battle always gets interrupted and they just give the badge to him, but that's fine I guess. The narrator is really funny sometimes. There's way too much effort put into his voiceover and I can appreciate that. There are multiple instances where giant Pokemon appear, and I can't help but think that they're about 20 years ahead of the Gigantamax Pokemon. They notably appear in episodes 13 and 19. There's a boat captain in episode 15, and he is hilarious. His lines are so quick and witty. Also in episode 16, Team Rocket should have died. They get stuck in this boat as it fills with water, and they fall inside of it as it hurls into an undersea chasm. Not only would the pressure crush them, but there's definitely not enough air to reach the surface alive. So yeah. Speaking of which, I should have Jesse and James co-star on here, or maybe just Meowth. He's the only sane one. There's this crazy talking Ghastly in episode 20 who turns into many things, including a Venustoise. I have always tried to figure out how certain Pokemon exist, like where their mouth is and how their bodily organs work and stuff like that. But in episode 30, Brock says,
"Animal Pokemon, I could understand, but how can an inorganic Pokemon like Magnemite fall in love with an electric rodent?"
So some Pokemon just exist because reasons, I guess. Breaking news, this just in. Man drops son out of helicopter. See episode 35 for more details. Jesse and James have an audio track that plays when they say their theme song. You can tell because it distorts with their voices over the phone. Also, they constantly acknowledge that they have to do the intro every episode and that it annoys others. This hasn't really been brought up in more recent seasons, and it just makes the bits stale. Bring back the self-awareness! There's a typo in the title of episode 68. And of course, the fact that real animals canonically exist in the Pokemon world. Most of the time, people just talk about cats and stuff like that, but there are scenes where there are actual non-Pokemon fish in the background, and that blew my mind. I guess they didn't have enough fish Pokemon yet. So there you have it. Until next time, enjoy entertainment and judge it fairly. This has been Just J Review.